I've mentioned at the beginning, we are targeting autonomous production, autonomous optimization production. So actually what you can see here is a processing line, and in the middle you can see our data factory. So what is the data factory doing? The data factory is merging all data, let's say from the upstream processes, from, for example, an import measuring device in the post-treatment area, the line automation data, and this concentrated data. And now let's say we are coming to something special. We have actually developed a data-driven annealing model, so based on machine learning, advanced analytics, which is calculating optimized annealing curves. And these optimized annealing curves are directly connected with the mathematical model. So it's a closed loop optimization. And at the end, this is what is clearly for me AI in production, autonomous optimization. And on the lower left side, you can see the benefit. Actually, the numbers have been published from one of our partners on a conference. So this is why I can share them as well. So up to 50% less variability of the mechanical properties. This is slightly depending on the steel grade which is produced. And I think a very tremendous improvement, especially when we talk about advanced high-strength steels. The reduction of non-prime coals has been reduced from 8% to 3%.
So what you see here is the challenge that we are facing, okay? So we see that the steel industry is having a challenge of actually combining the different data silos that are existing in the production. So what you see here again is the exemplar production route from an EAF plant and shows you the different processes until the galvanizing line. And the challenge is that we would like to tackle is the cross-process alignment of the different data sources and formats. You know, it's quite hard currently to combine all these different data and have this as a basis for AI optimization. So this really prevents a solid foundation for the overall optimization. You can't really optimize a continuous casting machine if you don't have the connected data from upstream and downstream. Since this is a process that is really continuously flowing, we need to combine the different data sources and actually combine quality and processing data. So this is a challenge what we're facing. And the next slide shows just symbolic what the data platform is looking like. So we are able to combine all the different processing steps across level 1, level 2, and also level 3. Here explained within MES. So this is what we're aiming at, and this is what is currently also running live in several projects at customers. And this really gives you the foundation to install AI at the end.
What does it mean to have a carbon neutral steelmaking process? We can see some breakthrough technologies which are on the way, and we can see, let's say, three major major external factors which play a role in this respect. The external factors can be mentioned as the availability of carbon-free green hydrogen as a reductant, specifically in DRI plants with 100% H2 use, and carbon-free green power to use this one for the electric steel making, or even to reduce the CO2 emissions in this respect further. So we can see that the breakthrough technologies is for sure a CO2 optimized blast furnace technology with a high use of DRI or increased use of DRI and power which is coming from carbon-free production. Then we have the DRI plants, as we already mentioned, which in the future can use 100% H2, and we have the electric arc furnace, which is for sure the technology with the lowest CO2 footprint right now on the market. But if we want to replace capacities of POF plants, we will need extremely large size EAFs because these plants have a higher production capacity. Means we have to think about how to balance these furnaces in terms of steel quality and let's say mechanical sizing and dimensioning.
Circuret process principles. The hydrogen-based circuret process is normally the reduction process is run at relatively low temperature, normally between 600 and 650 degrees C. So operating the process at this level of temperature, normally the so-called sticking tendency is avoided. The process parameters in the fluidized bed, such as residence time, temperature, and hydrogen gas flow, can be easily controlled in the fluidized bed equipment. This is a process for processing fines, and the preferred particle size distribution is a range of 0.1 millimeter to 2 millimeters. So for ultrafine dust, Mexo Autotech has established a concept for microgranulation and hardening of the granules. And this is especially important when dust collected in different locations of the plants, you can recycle back into the process by application of this microgranulation system. So the reduction process, this reduction process is a pressurized process operating at 4 bar absolute, and this level of pressure has been, let's say, selected to mitigate the cost disadvantages of equipment size. The process is applying two reducing reactors connected in series. This is a circulating fluidized bed and a stationary fluidized bed. The arrangement is in counter-current mode. That means that the pre-reduced material from the CFB flows to the stationary fluid bed, and the gas leaving the FB reactor flows to the CFB reactor. So then this arrangement has been done due to the reduction characteristic of iron ores using hydrogen at relatively low temperature.
Okay, as many have already pointed out, one of the big issues of the decarbonization is that everybody would love to go just with scrap because that's the low-hanging fruit when it comes to reduction of the CO2 emission, but for many producers, you simply cannot do. Just because the scrap is full weight with trump elements such as copper, many productions cannot tolerate high levels of pollutants, and the quality of the scrap is declining, meaning that as the scrap is recycled and recycled, the quantity of copper that gets trapped into the scrap increases. Nowadays, these are the quantities of the concentration of copper that we are seeing in commonly available scrap grade. This simulation has been done for a special steel producer in Italy willing to investigate this route while keeping the grades they were producing. So in the second row, you see the target for copper content, and in the yellow block, you see how much a virgin iron unit he would have needed to load into his furnace in order to keep up with the pollution of the scrap and the target. So you see that this is an issue that is unavoidable, unavoidable as of today.